All right, let's get you ready for your GCSE Biology exam. We're going to break down everything you need to know about plant organization.
I mean, seriously, think about it. How does a massive tree just defy gravity and pull water up, sometimes hundreds of feet? It's an incredible feat of natural engineering, right? Well, the answer is all about having a perfectly organized system, and understanding that system is absolutely crucial for your exams. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big picture, the plant's whole organ system. Then we'll zoom in on the specialized tissues doing the heavy lifting. After that, we'll look at the leaf, the plant's engine room. And finally, we'll connect it all by exploring the transport highways that make everything work. Okay, first things first. Let's get our heads around how a plant is actually put together, starting from the very bottom, from single cells to a complete working system.
You know, just like us, plants are super organized. It's a hierarchy. You start with the absolute basics, the cells. These are the building blocks. When similar cells group together to do a specific job, you get tissues. Then, different tissues work together to form an organ, like a leaf or a root. And finally, you get the whole shebang. Organs working together in an organ system, like the transport system that moves stuff all around the plant.
And it all kicks off right here, down in the soil, with these guys, root hair cells. They're a perfect example of a specialized cell. See that long, thin part? That's not just for show. It creates a massive surface area, which makes them brilliant at soaking up water by osmosis and pulling in mineral ions from the soil using energy, a process we call active transport.
Okay, so we've seen the individual cells. Now let's zoom out a bit and see what happens when they team up to form specialized tissues. You can think of this as the plant's internal plumbing system.
Now listen up, because for your exam, you absolutely have to know the difference between xylem and phloem. Here's an easy way to remember it. Xylem is the water pipe. It's made of dead, hollow cells that form a continuous tube, like a long straw, sucking water and minerals just one way, from the roots up to the leaves. Phloem, on the other hand, is like the plant's food delivery service. It's made of living cells, and it moves dissolved sugars, the plant's energy source, all around the plant, up and down, wherever it's needed. So if you remember nothing else, get this straight in your head. Transpiration is for water, and it happens in the xylem. Translocation is for food, the sugars, and that happens in the phloem. Get those two terms right, and you're golden.
Right, let's move on to the real powerhouse of the plant, the leaf. It might just look like a flat green thing, but it's actually this incredibly complex, solar-powered factory where all the magic of photosynthesis happens.
If you could slice a leaf in half and look inside, you'd see how every single layer is perfectly designed for its job. The top epidermal layer is see-through to let light in. Right under that, the palisade mesophyll is just jam-packed with chloroplasts, ready for photosynthesis. Then you've got the spongy mesophyll layer with big air gaps, making it easy for gases to move around. The xylem and phloem are bundled up in veins, and then underneath you have the stomata and their guard cells, controlling what comes in and what goes out. It's just so efficient.
And these stomata, these tiny little pores, are the gatekeepers. They're constantly playing this high-stakes balancing act. The guard cells open them up to let in the carbon dioxide needed for photosynthesis, but they have to be careful not to stay open too long, or the plant will lose way too much water. It's a constant trade-off.
Okay, last section. We've seen all the individual parts. Now let's put it all together and see how these transport highways, the xylem and phloem, actually move water and sugar around the plant.
This whole journey of water is called the transpiration stream. Let's trace it. Water gets absorbed by the roots. Then it's pulled up through the xylem in the stem. When it gets to the leaves, a tiny bit evaporates and escapes through the stomata. And here's the cool part. That evaporation at the top creates a kind of suction, a tension that literally pulls the whole column of water all the way up from the roots. It's a completely passive, continuous flow.
Now, this rate of water loss isn't always the same, and this is a classic exam topic. The rate of transpiration speeds up when it's bright, hot, and windy. And it makes perfect sense, right? More light means more photosynthesis, so the stomata open wider. Higher temperatures make water evaporate faster, and wind blows away the humid air right next to the leaf, which encourages even more water to diffuse out.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? If there's one thing to remember, it's this. In plants, structure is perfectly suited to function. Everything is connected. From the shape of a single root hair cell to the network of veins in a leaf, every single part is designed to do its job as efficiently as possible.
So we've seen how this amazing system works when conditions are good. But that leaves us with a final thought. What happens when the environment gets tough? How do plants adapt when it's too dry or too cold? That's a great question to think about for your next revision session. I hope this helped, and seriously, good luck with your exams.